Because when you see players like Pogba and Bruno and Rashford who have absolutely worked their socks off this season and scored the most goals in the Premier League, and then what you're not in a title race because your centre backs are not good enough. And who's a centre back? Your club captain. Why would you take him seriously? Because I wouldn't. If I'm Bruno or I'm Rashford, I'm not going to take that guy seriously.
I think money's not that much of an issue. Obviously, being Manchester United.
It is. It is. This is one thing. Let me interrupt. This is one thing Manchester United fans really get very wrong. Money is a massive issue in Manchester United, and I don't think we realise how much of an issue it is. Explain to me how you think it's not an issue.
Okay, it is an issue, but it's not like if we spent 120 million and he went, wrong, I think we can still recuperate a good amount of it. I don't think it's going to affect us as much.
How could we do that? Because we spent 80 million pound on a fridge, and we're just having to claim now. And our managers. Let me finish.
You don't like it's been a terrible purchase.
But our manager has come. He has. How is he not 80 million pounds?
Not at all,
man. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Because you look at Diaz. No, you look at Diaz for City. You look at centre back. That's what a centre back is supposed to come in and do. Ruben Diaz was not experienced in the Premier League.
Harry Maguire who's playing in front. Playing in front of Diaz, and look how they recover the ball and the way they play.
No, it does not matter. The reason why, let's.
It's a lot easier to be a centre back for Manchester City than it is for Man United. We know that.
Explain to me how, please.
The way Manchester City can win the ball back, they've got possession for most of the game,
and we haven't got players that come in. The reason why our midfield is having to play so defensive, and the reason why we play two CDMs is because of how bad Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof are. It's not a case of look what Maguire's got in front of him. We need to look at the rest of the team and look what they've got behind them. The reason why Fred and McTominay have to play regularly and Matic has to play regularly and Pogba and Bruno miss out, well, not Bruno, but Pogba used to miss out a few games was purely because of how bad our centre-backs are. And I still
maybe he's not an £8 million defender. He's not an £8 million defender. I've never said once he isn't, but he's not as bad as you make out.
He's not £80 million defender. He's not £80 million defender. He's not worthy of being the Manchester United club captain. That's a fact.
I agree with that.
But because what we're saying,
you're making him out to be a terrible defender, which is not.
But the reason why he is Manchester United captain is because the price that's being spent on him, and basically the Glazers have turned around to Solskjaer.
Politics.
You're stuck with him. They're saying you're stuck with him. You've got to make it work. You've got no option now. Because let's be honest, if we put Harry Maguire on the market, who's going to come in for him and even spend 50, 60 million? No one is. Let's be honest.
15. Probably West Ham would give about 15 or something.
He's not as bad as you make out, man. Honestly, he's not as bad as you make out.
But I'd say our defense is better. He's not as good as Mings and Konsa. He's not as good as Mings and Konsa.
You stay out of this.
I'm being honest.
You just don't get involved.
I think Konsa, ASSURE Roheel, Konsa and Mings.
The one thing he was good for was headering out of his box, and even lately he's looked shaky at that. Don't get me wrong. He has some games where he looks like an absolute superstar. But if you want to look like a superstar, only some of your games, go play for a low-level team. Go play.
The thing is, he can only play in a 3 at the back. He can only play in a 3 at the back. That's it.
Or he can either play in a 3 at the back, or he can play in a back 4 that gets pressed the whole game, and all he has to do is when the ball comes, he has to header it out. If you're a centre back and you're world class, you need to basically make yourself. You need to show your presence. And Harry Maguire isn't that player. And it frustrates me whenever I speak to you about Harry Maguire because you think he's not that bad and he has some good games. If you want to be a great,
I think he needs a better partner. I think he definitely needs a lot better partner than what he's been given.
I don't agree with that.
I think he needs someone a lot quicker.
All right,
on his right side.
I think Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof are exactly the same. Tell me what Harry Maguire has got that Victor Lindelof has. Bear in mind, Victor Lindelof is faster than him. But tell me how Maguire is better than him.
I generally think Harry Maguire's got more presence at centre back than Victor Lindelof. And I think that's
okay. So Harry Maguire's got more presence than Victor Lindelof. But with Harry Maguire in our defence, we've conceded more goals. So what presence?
That's not always just down centre backs. Again, you're being unfair.
Okay,
again, you're being unfair.
Who's it down to if it's not down to the centre backs?
I think as a team we haven't defended well. Especially across set pieces. As a team, we haven't. You're not
explaining your point very well. And it's not even set pieces. It is when the ball comes out to a wide man and the ball gets played in. Harry Maguire and Lindelof don't know whether they're coming or whether they're going. They don't know when to drop together and they don't know when to come out together. One's always caught napping and the team always scores.
The prime example for that was against Sevilla last season in the Europa League when it just got whipped across and everyone just looked at it until it was at the back post, and then that Sevilla
Exactly.
person, I forgot his name. Sorry.
And how many times?
What I'm trying to say is, he's not as bad as you make out. Okay, I agree. He's not an £80 million defender. I agree. He probably shouldn't be club captain. If we had a better partnership next to Maguire, I think we'd be a lot more solid.
Would you start Tuanzebe or Bailly next to him, Arif?
No, I wouldn't. I think if you take Harry Maguire out of that team and you play Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly, I guarantee you we will concede less goals for the rest of the remaining of the season compared to the first half of the season. I can guarantee you that.
That was Mourinho's partnership when he got sacked, remember? Bailly and Lindelof.
Yeah, but
conceded 3 against Brighton as well.
It was also Mourinho's partnership when we were at the top of our game. We finished second in the league and we won a Europa League.
It wasn't. It was Bailly and Smalling, or Smalling and Lindelof. Smalling was there as our ever-present centre-back that season.
No, but obviously this one's saying, but the reason why Bailly has never ever had that consistent run is because of his injuries. But for big games in that season, Lindelof and Bailly. But that's the thing with Bailly, and that's the only reason why Lindelof and Maguire are stuck with each other. Victor Lindelof cannot play well with Harry Maguire next to him, and Maguire can't do the same with Victor Lindelof because they just don't go together. It's just one of them things. But then one's a £30 million player and one's a £80 million player and who's a captain and who's English and who has Premier League experience. And I think that's where you have to shift the blame to. Anyone can play the blame game, but it's evident if you're going to spend that much money on a centre-back and this guy's the captain of your club, he has to take responsibility. It's like now, when Man United lose a game and let's say the team selection wasn't well, we're all going to blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, yes or no? But if the team selection is right and it did for defensive mistakes and your captain's in the centre of that and he's your most expensive defender, who's the blame going to go on to? Harry Maguire? Simple. Because when you're defending a set piece, for example, the Sheffield United one, the Everton one, if your centre-back, your centre-back and your captain is in the middle, he should be commanding everyone where to go, what to do. He's telling everyone to get in the line and he's telling everyone when to go, yes or no. And it's shown that he hasn't got that presence with, I don't think, with his own players, never mind the opposition. I don't think there's players in the team that will see this guy as a good captain. Because when you see players like Pogba and Bruno and Rashford who have absolutely worked their socks off this season and scored the most goals in the Premier League, and then you're not in a title race because your centre-backs are not good enough. And who's a centre-back? Your club captain? Why would you take him seriously? Because I wouldn't. If I'm Bruno or I'm Rashford, I'm not going to take that guy seriously. But yeah, that's me done, rant over.